Guys, welcome to another episode of Rennch. On today's show, I've got a project update of the Subaru Swapped Porsche production version, otherwise known as Leistern 1. So next to me here is a 1976 Porsche 912e that I started working on about a year ago. It came in with all 90 horsepower of its engine and narrow body, and I was essentially tasked to put some somewhat wide body flares on. Well, that has blossomed into an entirely new rolling restoration project where I'm taking the Subaru EZ30R that I'm using in my green blasphemy build and making a full production version that I can sell to anybody that has a Porsche 911 or 912. In this case, Mark is going from 90 horsepower to 300. While we were going down the rabbit hole, he said, well, wait, why don't we just backdate the whole car? So I've completely backdated this car, and now I'm going to fill you in on not only what's happening with the Subaru engine project, which is about 90% there, but the car itself and where we are with the rolling restoration of this project. All right, so taking you through this project, this was the first thing I did. These flares are about a year old now, and as we were sitting at lunch, it was sort of like, hey, do you want to go from 90 horsepower to 300 horsepower? And he said yes, and here we are. So, starting with the bad, this is a essentially Worth undercoated frontal area now. The problem is that for whatever reason, this is all great. This came out really well, but down in some of the spots here, this is still, after months, it's still wet. And something happened with the catalyst, not only here, but actually in the trunk, in the engine compartment, we had the exact same issue. So we've started the process of literally like stripping this entire thing out, which is no fun, but we're gonna do it anyway because this thing needs to look beautiful for the Subaru swap kit that's going in it. So I have to make sure that this looks really good. And yeah, it's a slog. I don't know if you've ever done this. You know, it's not only factory undercoat, but now it's this really sticky Worth that we had. And I think somebody got in here after the fact and added non-factory undercoat, which was gooped a ½ inch thick, and that is obviously no good as well. So this is a ton of scraping and gross, but eventually this will be beautiful and perfect, and we'll be able to get a nice coat of paint on here. I have started the process of repairing this. For those of you who don't know, the G-body cars have this big box that's welded on right here. So you have to get rid of the box, but it's really hard to do that without tearing into the body a little bit. So I've repaired a couple holes here. I've repaired a big rip here. I've got more to do, and then this whole thing will get a little bit of body filler, maybe a little spray of Worth, I'm not really sure, but certainly a coat of the Grand Prix white that this thing is going to be. And while I'm talking about Grand Prix white, look what I did, you guys. I completely shot the front end of this car in Grand Prix white, and it came out great. I'm really, really pleased with it. It was really the first time I've ever shot single stage paint like this. So it looks really awesome. And again, I wanted this nice platform so you guys could see how nice the kit was. So it just needs to look really good. As soon as this thing gets fixed and we clean all the paint off of here, it'll get another fresh shot of Worth, and then I will hit the inside with some Grand Prix white as well, probably up until about here. And then we'll have a really beautiful frontal area. Let me show you what I did today, which I'm very excited about. Check out this sexy beast that I clear coated today. It is looking awesome. This was just a trashed gas tank. Mark took it home, cleaned it up, did a little can of rattle can on it. I got it here. I sprayed it with some of my favorite VHT roll bar and chassis. Keyed it, meaning I 3M scrubby, and then I hit it with some 2K clear. This stuff, if you've never used it, you basically take this red plunger and you plunge it into the bottom of the bottle, and you have car paint shop clear coat that you can use. And so that's what I did on this. This will get a little wet sand to get the nubs out and a polish, and it looks incredible. Hey, there's Mr. Ben. We all know Benny. This is the Blasphemy build, obviously. And I want you guys to have a look at this crossover pipe here. So this pipe goes out from the engine, comes into this pipe here, and then it goes down. In my case, it goes down and has all these different fittings and then ends up going towards the front of the car. I want to eliminate a lot of that. So what I'm going to do is it's going to go down and then this way and then that way and have a fitting on it so I can put that dash 16 hose on it. But check this out. It will be made of this beautiful stainless steel, and I'll have my logo welded on it, and it's going to look amazing in that engine compartment, all nice and polished up. So radiators being made. These things are going to get bent next week and welded up. This paint is going on today, so I'm actually going to do all the way here, all the door jamb, all of this stuff in here, and then on up. That will be nice and painted. We've got both doors fully stripped and ready to go on that end. So this will effectively be finished. So I'll start being able to get the fenders on and start working on fitment and gaps and that kind of thing. So it's really coming together in that respect. I did a nice coat of undercoat here today, and that goes all the way here. Nice hard line. And then what you do is you basically spray all of this with the body color, and you've got a nice sort of protection on the underside, but then the rest of it looks really good. All right, so that's the quick update. We're gonna get after this now. Mark is scuffing with the scrubby pad. We've got to tape this thing up so obviously the whole car doesn't get sprayed and oversprayed. Dead calm all day, and the second we started wrapping this, gust. All right, after about an hour of taping, we are left with this. Perfect here for the door sills, underneath the rockers, and then inside these wheel wells. That's what we are shooting to paint today. We've got a very rudimentary venting system right there with the garage door inside, but we are pretty clean, pretty dusted. Let's get this thing sprayed and see how we do. Awesome. It's always Christmas morning when you get to unwrap your work, and today is no exception. These just really turned out really hard to capture the gloss and how clean this is, but they look really good. They look really good. And this whole area just came out great. Gave this a touch up. It's just so buttery smooth and nice. So door jambs are totally done, which is so cool. Got the whole underside done here. And it's just going to be so much better to be able to bolt a suspension on to nice, clean paint instead of 40 years of dirt and muck and gross. I had a little bit of extra paint, so I literally just fired it all into here as well, even though no one in the world will ever see this except if it's on a lift. But it just came out really good. And of course, we still have to do the engine compartment, but this was great. This kind of made it all nice and clean and beautiful and not bad for a first timer. All right, next couple phases. I'm waiting for a couple of engine components to come back, including the wiring, and we will get this all put back together. Gonna get the doors in primer, probably scuff the inside, prime the outside, and then maybe shoot some of this white on the inside if we need to. So those will be done. Doors, fenders will be all in primer, and then we'll work on getting the rest of this body in primer, and that'll be it, like, for the body work until we really kind of finish the engine and get the thing going. Things are coming in left and right. The platform is getting better and better, so I can bolt the components for the last time onto the car and then get this thing fired up so you guys can hear it go choo-choo. So that's it for the project update. Super stoked on how this came out, especially because it was my first time shooting really any major paint, but certainly single stage. And now I feel very confident that I could do it again on a real car. So that'll be really cool when I get a chance to do that. Anyway, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. As always, talk to you soon. Keep on rocking.